Now, I know what you're thinking. What sweet hell is this exactly? Well, this is what's rather known as a silly idea. We have here the Hunger Games Simulator, which is from brandsteel.net. The link is going to be in the description. Regular viewers of my channel will know that we've had quite a few deaths in this campaign so far. I was watching a video by Drawfee the other day, brilliant creator on YouTube who creates a lot of animated content, and they do a lot of drawing. And they did this. They did a Hunger Games, but with all of the kind of characters that they had drawn during their live streams. And I thought, you know what, we've had a lot of deaths in our campaign in D&D. Why don't we try doing something similar? I guess in my head canon, I'm kind of thinking to myself that in the moment of death, obviously, Alistair Blackcloak, he's a mad mage, and he is, watching the shenanigans that our party is getting up to and loving every moment, kind of cackling away from his lair. And I like to imagine that in the moment of their death, he is essentially capturing each of these people, not allowing them to progress into the afterlife, and instead forcing them onto some sort of extra-dimensional plane where they are then forced to fight to the death to find out who really is the strongest member of the party. Regular viewers of the channel will recognise a few familiar faces here, maybe a few people that you don't recognise so much. And maybe this is a chance to correct history where there's been injustices, where characters, due to bad dice luck or just stupidly throwing themselves at enemies without thinking it through in advance, just didn't get a fair shake of things. And this is the chance to correct the course of things and say, no, this is what we want to do instead. We are going to be going into the Hunger Games and emerging victorious as the new apprentice of Alistair. I mean, at least that's the idea. So, as is actually in the Hunger Games, you'll see that all the characters here have been kind of sorted into different districts. There are two candidates from each of the districts, and I'll go through them one by one. So District 1, in the books, District 1 is basically like quite a rich district. It's right next to the capital, so the people here are quite well looked after. And not only that, but they are what's known as careers. They are people who have been training their entire lives to fight in the Hunger Games. So they're really prepared, they're really able and capable. And so I've taken here actually two characters that are not actual playable characters in the campaign. They are rather, I guess, NPCs who have kind of elevated themselves to a higher level. So on the first person here, we have Olibash, the Loxodon wizard, who is the mage killer. And we've come across him a few times now. He is hunting down mages throughout the Undermountain. One to watch out for there, a very dangerous wizard. Next to him, we have Castis, who, of course, we encountered guarding the entrance to Dwumakor, the wizard school. And of course, it turned out, then created a fake school on the next level after we bested him. He didn't take losing lightly, and he created an entire elaborate fake school based around my own past, which is all a bit weird. And so, yeah, he's kind of cemented himself as a bit of an arch nemesis as a result. Beyond that, we then go into District 2, and now we are actually into player characters. So District 2 is, in the books, it's all about defense. Masonry and defense is what they're responsible for. And so I chose two characters here who are known for being stalwart defenders. We have here Tarmin, who was, of course, a barbarian that we had, who was so stupid he believed himself to be a paladin, and whenever he raged, he believed that he was actually divinely smiting in the name of Bahamut the dragon. And then we have Yvette, who was my backup character, who was a one-armed fighter who protected her village. So two defending characters there. District 3 then is all about electronics in the book. And of course, when we're talking about electronics, we're talking about robots. So that's Shield, my current character, and next to him we have Auric, who is an artificer. So kind of makes sense as well there. He tinkers about with metal and makes lots of gadgets and things. Next we have District 4, which is all about fishing. When you have fishing, you have boats, and when you have boats, you have pirates. So here we have the 2 pirate people from our campaign. We have Kronos, the barbarian, and we have Tix, the rogue. Both of them people who once sailed out of Skullport aboard the SS Jenny from the Block. Next to that, we then go into District 5. Here we have Virtue, who is a new character who's only just joined the table, Tiefling Wizard. And we have Baxter, who it's actually a character from my backstory. Hasn't actually appeared in Dungeon of the Mad Mage, but I have actually played this character in a one-shot. So it's a little bit of a reach, but I thought, I'll include him since he has appeared in at least some of the videos that I've made related to this campaign. District 6 then, and we're basically into the nothing districts now. So District 6, we've got here Lantix, who is the wizard who's constantly running away and escaping, and we have Halton, the paladin. Then we go into District 7, which I believe, if I remember correctly, is all about lumber. It's all about like wood. And so we have Hargle here, the dwarf, who carries, canonically, the axe Hugh, which is very, very good at chopping down trees, so that's why he's there. And we have the Hobgoblin Druid, who lasted in-game about 20 minutes before dying. I never wrote down his name, so here he is called Who Knows. That's his name, Who Knows, the Hobgoblin Druid. Of course, Druid means nature, nature means trees. So there we go, that's why they're both here. Next we have District 8, which I believe is all about fashion. So we have the 2 most fashionable people here. We have Bolene, who is of course a bard, a very beautiful Disney princess. And then we have Raynome, who is of course a frog prince, both very dapper people there, representing the more fashionable parts of Pan Am. Then we move into District 9. Here we have 2 very early characters who died in just the first few sessions. We have Davlin, the pirate, another pirate. It's a common theme. And we have Drax, another tiefling wizard who was very, very intelligent and died because he was stupid. Then we move into District 10, which I believe is all about livestock. And, when you're talking about livestock, well, what better to have than a character that can talk with the dead? It's a reach, but, so that's Mama Leota there. And next to her, you will notice that we've got Shun. Shun, of course, is an NPC in the game, and is still alive. Livestock, right? So Shun was a member of the Xanthar's Guild who was on the 2nd floor. We managed to convince Shun that Mural, the monstrosity, was attacking, and she ran away and went into hiding. And, of course, in this headcanon now, she's ended up on this extraplanar world, fighting for her very life against a bunch of randos. Now we're into District 11. Here we have Sterling, who was a rogue who also died quite early on. And then we have Lancelin, who is a bear. It was a bear who was ridden sometimes by Halton when he remembered that he had him, and otherwise it was just a bear that kind of followed us around and then just vanished without much further ado. And finally we move into District 12, of course, the heroes of the novels. They are miners, they are coal miners, of course, in the Hunger Games. And so when you're thinking of coal miners, of course you're thinking of dwarves. And when you're thinking of dwarves, you're thinking of my boy himself, Gorn Basterling. There he is, alive. I wish he was. And next to him we have Murin, the other dwarf who died in the very, very, very first session we ever played of this campaign. So, the longest surviving member of our party, and the shortest lasting member of the party, next to each other there in the moment of death. So there we go, that is how the setup is going, and we are now going to proceed. I've not done this before, I'm quite curious to see how it turns out. Let's see what happens. So with that in mind, we are going to proceed. So, as the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Auric takes a handful of throwing knives. Tix and Hargle fight for a bag, but Tix gives up and retreats. Baxter snaps Boleyn's neck. First death. Woo! Wow. Kronos runs away from the Cornucopia. Yeah, that tracks. Davlin runs away from the Cornucopia. Shield gathers as much food as he can. He doesn't eat. He doesn't eat. Why is he gathering food? Who knows, grabs a backpack, not realising it is empty. Yeah, that's the sort of thing he would do. Olibash runs away from the Cornucopia. Raynome kills Sterling for his supplies. He doesn't have any supplies. He didn't grab anything. Tarmin grabs a shield, leaning on the Cornucopia. Yvette and Shun fight for a bag. Shun gives up and retreats. Virtue scares Castus away from the Cornucopia. That tracks. I think Virtue is also from Dwermacore, so, Castus wasn't a very good student there. Mamaliota runs away from the Cornucopia. Lancelin runs away from the Cornucopia. Murin runs away from the Cornucopia. Lantix, Gorn, Drax, and Halton share everything they gathered before running. Love it. Proceed. We're into day 1. So on day 1, Shun and Tix work together for the day. Mamaliota searches for firewood. Drax makes a wooden spear. There's the firewood he needs. Kronos chases Lantix. He's always running away. You can't catch him. He runs too fast, mate. Olibash throws a knife into Gorn's chest. No! Gorn! You monster, Olibash! You monster! Oh my gosh! Oh, the wizard killer doesn't just kill wizards. Oh. Hargle searches for a water source. He wants to do some cooking, I guess. Lancelin and who knows hunt for other tributes. They both turn into bears and off they go. Castus discovers a cave. Yeah, well, he was actually in a cave when we met him in the campaign, so that tracks. Davlin makes a slingshot. Halton forces Shield to kill Virtue or Murin. He refuses to kill, so Halton kills him instead. Oh, Shield! No, that's 2 of my guys dead on day 1. What's going on? Raynome searches for firewood. Yvette sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Oh, Yvette. How did you see it? You've only got one eye. Baxter fishes. Tarmin defeats Auric in a fight, but spares his life. Well, that makes sense. They are both played by the same person, so, that's a little bit of PC bias going on there. Let's proceed. So, 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Boleyn from District 8 lies dead. Sterling from District 11 lies dead. Gorn from District 12 lies dead. Shield from District 3 lies dead. Proceed. Night 1. Yvette cries herself to sleep. That tracks. Who knows? Just goes to sleep. No crying for him. He doesn't care. Mamaliota is awoken by nightmares. Baxter sets up camp for the night. But the others didn't set up camp. They just fell asleep on the floor somewhere. Well, Baxter's thinking smart. He is an artificer. That makes sense. Olibash receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Medical supplies for what reason? He's not hurt. I mean, maybe the supplies are actually for Gorn, and he's just stolen them. Maybe it was Gorn that they were trying to rescue, and he was like, nope, I'm taking that. Davlin cries himself to sleep. It's probably because no one cares about him. Hargle and Castus run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Very interesting. I mean, honestly, Hargle is probably a good person to make friends with because, he's pretty good at cooking, is Hargle. Auric attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Oh dear, the man who fights with firearms and gunpowder and is a tinkerer and has lots of gadgets can't start a fire. Oh dear, Auric, poor you. Actually, wasn't he the one earlier? Oh no, it was Baxter who set up the camp. Okay, he was trying to. Tix cooks his food before putting his fire out. See, Auric, you should have joined Tix. He must have got a fire going. Halton throws a knife into Tarmin's head. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow, Tarmin's dead. Goodness me. The real paladin killed the fake paladin. Murin tries to treat his infection. How did he get an infection? I must have missed that. How did he get an infection? Well, he's got one and he's trying to treat it. He needs to get those medical supplies off Olibash. And finally, we've got Kronos fends. Nice verb. Kronos fends Virtue, Raynome, and Shun away from his fire. It's a bit of a team-up going on here. Very interesting. And finally, Lantix tries to treat his infection that he probably got from running away bravely. Lancelin is unable to start a fire. I mean, he is a bear. And sleeps without warmth. And Drax questions his sanity. I've no idea why. He is very intelligent. Okay, let's proceed. Day 2. Raynome thinks about home. His little portable hole filled with water. Oh. Kronos sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Why would you? Castis explores the arena. It's about time someone did. Olibash and who knows hunt for other tributes. Goodness me, when that is exactly what Olibash would be doing, hunting for tributes. Tix fishes. It's exactly what a pirate would do. Virtue goes hunting. Baxter begs for Hargle to kill him. He refuses, keeping Baxter alive. Drax attempts to climb a tree. Drax attempts to climb a tree, but falls on Mama Leota, killing them both. Oh, he was too intelligent for this world. Poor Mama Leota. I think it's the first thing that she's done in this entire campaign so far. Murin stalks Yvette. Oh dear. Oh dear, you don't want to be stalking a woman. Dear me. Lancelin makes a wooden spear. How? He's a bear. Shun questions her sanity. That's absolutely fair. She is a monstrosity. Holton attacks Auric, but he manages to escape. My gosh, Holton is out for blood here. Lantix and Davlin work together for the day. All right, fair. Again, they are played by the same PC, so that makes sense. Proceed! 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance at the end of day 2. Tarmin from District 2 is dead. Drax from District 9 is dead. And Mama Leota from District 10 is dead. We proceed with Night 2. Murin and Olibash threaten a double suicide. It fails and they die. What? So Olibash, who, let's remember now, he received some medical supplies. He killed Gorn. Then he's hunting for other tributes. And then, randomly, he threatens to commit suicide. And Murin, just to get in on the action, is like, no, I'm going to commit suicide as well. And they do. All right, then. Davlin, meanwhile, goes to sleep. Lovely. Baxter, Who Knows, and Castis cheerfully sing songs together. Yeah, I mean, they never actually met in the campaign. These 3 characters never met each other. But apparently, canonically, they would get on like a house on fire. Lovely. Raynome. Oh, no. Oh. You know, he was dreaming of his pool of water, and he fell into a frozen lake, and he drowned. How does he drown? He can breathe underwater. He has a swim speed. This makes no sense. Anyway, Shun sees a fire but stays hidden. Makes sense. She is creature of the night. Hargle tries to sing himself to sleep. He should have joined the others and done the cheerful sing-song. Yvette receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Kronos thinks about home. Good old Skullport. Virtue cooks his food before putting his fire out. Virtue. Thinking ahead. Halton looks at the night sky. Lantix fends Tix, Auric and Lancelin away from his fire. Good old Lantix there. Goodness me, getting a backbone. In our campaign, he would have just run away from those three, but no, he's fending them off. Goodness me. All right, that's the end. Wasn't he with one of these other ones? Wasn't he with Davlin? Davlin went to sleep. Because Lantix and Davlin were together, right? So Davlin just went to sleep, and then Lantix fended the others away from the fire while Davlin was sleeping. Wow, Lantix is braver than we thought. Amazing. Let's proceed. Davlin picks flowers. I mean, he truly proving to be the MVP of this campaign so far. Just sleeping, picking flowers, lovely. Halton scares Shun off. I'm not surprised. He is an absolute out-for-blood murderer. Auric receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. I love it. I mean, if there's anyone that would know what to do with an explosive, it is the Artificer. Mind you, he couldn't get a fire going earlier, so he might not be that good. Yvette bashes Castus's head in with a mace. How did she get a mace? She received a hatchet from an unknown sponsor, but suddenly she's got a mace. My gosh. Bashes Castus's head in. It makes sense. She does hate magic casters. She hates all spellcasters of all types, so it does make sense that she kills him. Love it. My only character left. Let's go for it. Lancelin discovers a river. He is a bear. He tried to make a spear. He wasn't able to start a fire. But then he finds a river full of salmon. Love it. Tix injures himself. Yeah, that tracks. Definitely. Kronos stalks Virtue. What's with all the stalking? Goodness me. Baxter injures himself. Yeah. Kronos goes hunting. Fine. And Lantix, doing a Rainomere, falls into a frozen lake and drowns. He was running away so hard. He was running away and he was looking back over his shoulder, and he didn't see where he was running, and he fell into the lake and he drowned. And Hargle dies of dysentery. Well, he was clearly not as good a cook as everyone said he was. I mean, obviously he was not cleaning his cooking utensils correctly. To be fair, he was using his wok as a shield, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bit of contamination going on there, but goodness me. Dysentery, bad way to go. And we had no sign that he was ill, he just suddenly dies. Alright, well, at the end of that, a fire spreads throughout the arena. Oh my gosh. Shun survives, because she ran away. Davlin and Tix fail to find a safe spot and suffocate. Auric survives. I mean, that's lucky, because he does have explosives on him. It's a good job that the fire doesn't get to them. Lancelin and Virtue fail to find a safe spot and suffocate. Oh, it's a bloodbath. Yvette survives. Huzzah! The fire catches up to who knows, killing him. Oh, well, it was inevitable. I mean, he survived longer than he did in the campaign, but yeah, he was going to die eventually. Halton and Baxter fail to find a safe spot and suffocate. And Kronos survives. Oh my gosh. 13 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Murin from District 12, dead. Olibash from District 1, dead. Raynon from District 8, dead. Castus from District 1, dead. That's both of the career tributes, dead. Lantix from District 6, dead. Hargle from District 7, dead. Davlin from District 9, dead. Tix from District 4, dead. Lancelin from District 11, dead. Virtue from District 5, dead. Who knows from District 7, dead. Halton from District 6, dead. And Baxter from District 5, dead. And so, into night 3. Shun, Yvette, Auric and Kronos sleep in shifts. Are they all together? I guess it makes sense. They're the only ones that managed to survive the fire. And they're just together. And so they sleep in shifts. Don't kill me while I'm sleeping. Alright. Wow. So actually the only member of the party who's currently still alive is Auric. So I'm hoping he survives. And of course my money has to be on Yvette as well, because she's my character. So my money is on both of them. So knowing our luck, probably Shun's going to end up winning this. Let's keep going. The Cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Kronos, Shun and Auric get into a fight and Shun triumphantly kills them both. Oh no, I called it. Yvette falls into a pit and dies. That's what happens when you've only got one eye. Which means that the winner of these Hunger Games is an NPC, the only one that I allowed into this campaign. I was kind of hoping one of our player characters would survive, but no, the winner is District 10's Shun, the spider monstrosity herself from the Xanathar's Guild. She ran away from Morale in the campaign. In fact, she is the only one of those characters that is still alive. And here in the Hunger Games 2, she is the only one of these characters still alive. So well done to Shun. Good victory. And at the end of things, we can see, who was the most bloodiest there? So Shun had 2 kills. Yvette had 1 kill. We had 1 kill from Baxter, 2 kills from Halton, 1 kill from Olibash, 1 kill from Raynome. Wasn't that bloody though, to be honest. I think if I were watching this on TV, I'd be quite disappointed. That bloodbath, 13 deaths, goodness me. There we go, and that's the summary of the entire thing. Well, that was fun. I'm enjoying that. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, I might do this again at some point with some other things, like maybe some of the NPCs we come across in the game, or some other player characters as we come into it. Yeah, it's a bit of a fun thing to do, isn't it? So for now, I guess the Mad Mage himself is cackling away somewhere at this wonderful entertainment that he's made for himself. Shun survives, hiding away on the 2nd floor, and everyone else is dead, as they should be. Long live Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I'll catch up with you all another time. Take care, all. Goodness me, what was this?
May the odds be ever in your favor.